The event dungeon just dropped. You need a team. I got you covered. Let's get into it. Okay, let me actually show you guys the team. I think it's really good. I think it's really budget. Let me show you guys it in action, and then we'll go over the champion builds. We'll go over the team setup, and then we'll go over some substitutes. Because these champions specifically are not exactly required. Most of them actually have substitutes you can use, so we will go over those in this video as well. But let me just start by showing you guys the team in action. It's great. It's fantastic. Really good budget team. I just chose Thor as any plain old nuker figure. A lot of you guys have him because he's so new. He was a fusion not too long ago. Thor comes in there and nukes the waves. He's magic affinity, wrong affinity for the force guy, so typically one of them survives. That's okay though. It's not going to be enough to ruin our run. We will slowly but surely take care of him. Inquisitor Shamal cleansing the fear was really nice. Doom Priest cleansed us of that death brand, so now Thor cannot get block revived. Miss Rider Daithy getting that kill. You love to see it. Killed poor old Romero, part of our promo link in the description. Poor Romero. He died a very sad death. And then you can see all the ads are dead. Once the ads are dead, the boss isn't much to deal with. So we'll just let our guys kill the boss. I don't think there's too much more to show here. You guys can see we're slowly chipping away at her. Nothing crazy. It's really easy once the ads are dead. That's really the most important thing on stage 20 is killing the ads. Thor comes in. Get to kill Thor. Oh, yes. You love to see it. You love to see it. Ooh, I'm going to hold on to that. That ain't bad. I'm going to tip my hat to that. I'm going to hold on to that. I like that. All right, let's go over the team. Let's show the builds. Let's show the team setup. Let's show the presets. That way you guys know exactly when everything's happening, in what order, and why it's happening. But before we get into that, guys, we have literally the best starter link in the game. All right, there's nothing better than this. You could search the internet for 1,000 years. There's nothing better than this promo link. If you're a new player, if you want a second account, this is the best it's going to get. So pay close attention, all right? I'm talking to you. We go to the Shadowkin. We get a fantastic damage dealer in Mr. Karato Fox Hunter. He's great. Just an all-around solid damage dealer. He's got stuns. He's got block active skills. Two of the best crowd control in the game. He's got you. He's got you covered, all right? Then if we go over to the Skinwalkers, you get a little beautiful little rat lady. If that's your thing, I ain't judging. That's cool. All right, really, really good. And the clan boss, Fayne, so fantastic. Clan boss also one of the most important pieces of content in the game. By the way, has the best rewards, so you want to get it done. Vergis, Vergis. This is my boy. This is my boy right here. All right, he carried me through Scarab King, the best solo Scarab King champion in the game. If you don't know who the Scarab King is, you will find out very early on in your raid career. He's the most annoying raid Shadow Legends boss to deal with. And then last but not least, okay, maybe least, okay, yeah, he's least. But we still like him, right? It's Romero. He's got some defensive buffs, pretty solid, as well as some healing on the A2 and the A1. All right, enough said. He's the weakest of the bunch, but still actually a pretty solid support to get you started in the game. All right, guys, let's get into the champion builds, all right? Let's show you what you're going to need to battle this boss, all right? So a couple things right off the bat, all right? All these champions are going to have substitutes, and we're going to talk about those, but you need to keep in mind that if you substitute a champion in, that champion cannot do too many buffs. You need to stay below 10 buffs. That way the boss does not cut in, take an extra turn, and mess things up. So just keep that in mind when you substitute in champions. Another thing to keep in mind is the boss is 185 speed. So you need to be faster than the boss. You need to, be walking a little bit faster than that boss, all right? Unless you have turn meter fill. If you have turn meter fill or turn meter booster, you could be a little bit slower. You just have to kind of play with the amount of turn meter boost that you're getting versus your speed. As well as if you want to land debuffs, you need 305 accuracy. So any champion landing debuffs, you need 305 accuracy. Extremely important, or you will not land your debuff reliably enough to actually beat the stage consistently. So right off the bat, here's our Thor's stats. So there's really nothing too crazy here. We go over to total stats, 238% crit damage, 203 speed. He needs to be slower than your increased attack champion as well as your decreased defense champion. All right, hey, keep that in your head, all right? Slower than your increased attack champion, slower than your decreased defense champion. And then masteries, these don't matter too much. Helm Smasher's the way to go on nukers though, for sure. And we will talk about substitutes for him in a second. Actually, let's talk about substitutes for Thor while we're here, all right? I chose Thor because he's a really recent fusion, and a lot of you guys did it. But he's actually like the wrong affinity for the stage. He just hits so hard and is so good that it still works somehow. But really, this should be either a force affinity or a void affinity nuker. That way, there's no affinity issues. Or this should just be your most well-built damage dealer if you're new to the game. And I do also have his skills booked. I'll show that real quick. I do have his skills booked. Now, this Gorgorab, all right, This is like my increased attack champion slash backup reviver in case things go wrong. So skills booked, masteries, ain't really got none of it. Gear, super duper bad. This is horrible gear, right? You can get gear better than this like a month into the game. This is really bad gear, really bad total stats. Here's our total stats. The important thing is though, he's doing increased attack and he is faster than my Thor. So when Thor attacks, he has increased attack thanks to Gore Grab. As well as Gore Grab also gives me a turn meter boost. Now, who can you sub in for Gore Grab? Well, I've got you. If you're going to use the increased attack on Doom Priest, you can sub Gore Grab in for a Seal of the Drakes, which you all get at 180 days. You can also sub Gore Grab in for Arbiter, which you all get as well if you are far enough in the missions. Mrs. Arbiter right here. You can also sub him in for Old Hermit Yorg. He is an orc. He's a reviver. Has a very, very, very similar kit. Increased attack as well as 2-person revive, I believe. And it really can be any reviver. You could even probably get away with like Godseeker Neri, or maybe a reviver that cleanses to just bring another cleanse to the team, because you do have increased attack with Doom Priest if you don't want to use Gore Grab. So I think that covers everything with him. Moving on to Miss Rider Daithy. Miss Rider Daithy is here. Actually, let's go over total stats. Total stats, here's what we're rocking with. 231 speed, 40k HP. Nothing crazy, 129% crit damage. Not hitting very hard with that amount of damage. Masteries, we're going Helm Smasher to hopefully hit a little bit harder. So he's here for this decreased defense. Decreased defense is super important for your damage dealer. That way they hit way, way, way harder. As well as he can self-buff himself to have enough accuracy to land debuffs on the boss if you're struggling to meet the accuracy requirements. I'm not on this build. I'm at 406 accuracy, so I'm good. But I do like the increased attack because it makes his decreased defense hit harder. Because this is an AoE skill. Now, substitutes for Miss Rider Daithy are any decreased defense champion. A really good substitute is Ugo, because she also brings like a mini cleanse. Stagnite, because of the decreased attack. War Maiden's a super budget option. Any legendary with decreased defense is also good. You just need a decreased defense champion for your nuker. Doom Priest and Inquisitor can be substituted with really any cleanser as long as they're not doing more than 10 buffs. A really good budget option, if you don't have Shamael, you can go a second Doom Priest if you have that. If you don't have Doom Priest, you could go Duodan the Runic. If you don't have Inquisitor Shamael, you could go Duodan the Runic. His kit's really good. He has a cleanse on the A1. He also puts counterattack on himself, and it's only like 3 buffs on his A3, so it's not going to be enough to push you over that 10 buff limit. Even if you use him and with increased attack from Gore Grab, that still only put you at 8 buffs. And then Doom Priest build, we're going with the classic Relentless. You don't need Relentless. It's just nice when it procs, gets rid of an extra debuff for you. No relic. Skills booked. It doesn't matter though. Here's masteries. And then total stats, really we just care about speed and tankiness. I say make her as fast as you can, really. You can't go too much speed. You can't go too much speed. And then 84k HP, again, I don't think you can be really too tanky. She kind of hits hard with A1 too, so that's really nice. Inquisitor Shamael, we got him in the Toxic set for a little bit more damage. I use him in Hydra, that's why he's in Toxic. Doesn't really matter. His speed is quite slow, only 190. Still fast in the boss though, so we're good. 60k HP. He does have 100% crit rate and some crit damage to hit. But other than that, nothing crazy on this build. Skills are booked, so you keep that in mind if you see him hitting a little bit harder than you expect. Skills are booked, so he's going to hit harder. And then we do have War Master. We've got just very normal masteries in my opinion. So yeah, any damage dealer, your most well-built damage dealer, preferably Void and Force. Any Reviver, if you need the increased attack, or Reviver with increased attack. If you don't need increased attack because you have Doom Priest, Seal of the Drakes works fine. Any decreased defense champion, and then lots of cleansers can take these 2 positions, but I find that these 2 epics work very well and are very consistent. Okay, so let's actually go over the team preset now. So you guys had seen the team in the beginning. Let's go over the team preset, all right? So we're going to click on team preset. Check it out. All right, so Thor, I have him opening with his A2. There's actually a reason for this if you're going to use Thor. I do not want him to use his increased attack, increased crit damage, because it's more buffs. More buffs is bad. I do not want to hit that 10 limit. This wouldn't be enough to push me over, but I don't want to risk it. Plus, I like how this skill actually ramps up and does more damage as he's smacking. You can see we do not have 305 accuracy because I do not care about landing decreased speed or the stun. So that's fine. We don't need the accuracy. And then my speed is 203, whereas my increased attack and my decreased defense champion are faster. That's perfect. You want these 2 champions, your increased attack and your decreased defense, to be faster than your nuker. Your nuker should ideally go after those 2 so he can do as much damage as possible. Inquisitor Shamael, no presets, he's doing what he wants. Gore Grab, I have him prioritizing his increased attack and turn meter boost just so Thor can hit harder. Daithy, now Daithy, because he is faster than my Gore Grab, he wouldn't get increased attack. So I do have him self-buffing. This is only 2 buffs. Plus Gore Grab is 5, it's only 7, so it's not going to push me over that 10 threshold. So he self-buffs, then he lands decreased defense. The self-buff makes him hit a little bit harder. We do have 406 accuracy, so we meet the 305 requirement. We're good. And then Doom Priest, I turned off her increased attack because that would push me over the 10 buffs, and I really don't want that. All right, now that we've gone over the team preset, let's just watch the team in action one more time. It's not always the same run. Sometimes this ad dies instead of this ad. Sometimes both ads die. Sometimes all ads die. It's really random, but it always ends up getting the job done in the end, and that's what I like about it. It's unpredictable, but so consistent. I love it. Let's see. So here we actually killed 3 of the ads. That's really nice. Really nice. Inquisitor Shamel is going to get Romero quite low. Poor Romero, our promo code guy, and he's you know, he's doing a good job though, actually. He's the last one alive. You know what? Shout out to Romero, all right? He puts on the heal on the boss. Gonna slow us down, but it's fine. The run is not in risk of failing. That's the most important thing. So she gets a nice heal right there. That kind of sucks. But still, we got cleanse from Doom Priest to get rid of this decreased defense. We're chilling. Big chillin'. We're gonna kill this boss, no problem. Once the ads are dead, you guys know it's kind of a cakewalk, especially at stage 20. I know a lot of these champions are empowered, but you guys had seen the stats. Nothing really that crazy. Maybe apart from like the speed on Misrider Daithy and Doom Priest, I think they were like in the 230s. That's pretty decent, but I don't think it's unachievable even for someone who's fairly new to the game. Shamel just doing his damage, taking his time, tickling the boss, wasting our time, but it is what it is. At least he lands a couple poisons while doing it. Doom Priest A1, 23k is not bad. 60k of Misrider Daithy, that's more like it though. Come on, Thor. Oh, Thor, 215? Okay, we take it. We take it. Ooh, is this worth keeping? Crit damage, only 5-star, but 14 attack is better than no attack, so I'm getting attack and accuracy. That's kind of everything I want in a crit damage amulet. I don't think I should keep this. I'm gonna keep it for now. I'm not doing myself any favors. I badly need a gear cleanse. That's okay though. So guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. If you have any questions down below, you know, which champion can I substitute in instead? Like, maybe you want to tell me one of your champions, you're like, hey, I have this guy. Can he substitute for Misrider Daithy? I'll let you know. Yes, if you build him this way, he should work. So just any questions like that, definitely leave them in the comments. I'll respond as soon as I see them. Try and help you guys out, get you guys farming stage 20, because stage 20 is so important. In fact, if we go look at stage 20 real quick, the reason stage 20 is so important is that's where you start getting that guaranteed 5-star gear. You really want that. Getting 4-star gear from stage 19 and below, it hurts. It's like, it hurts when you get that 4-star gear, especially if it's like a legendary piece of pinpoint. You're like, yeah, and then you're like, oh, 4-star, no. At least here, you know, obviously you want to be 6-star, right? But at least here, you know, you're like, oh, it's not 6-star, but it's still 5-star, so it's probably usable, especially if it's a legendary piece. But anyway, guys, best of luck. I've been GrinchKD. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.